I wanted to talk to you about the very first pet that you ever owned.
The first animals that we had were two cats, Milo and Otis, and I was 6. And that's sort of where my love of animals started.
Have you ever owned any sort of exotic pets?
No, we had guinea pigs growing up, but those aren't exactly exotic. No, only just stuck with cats and dogs, really.
And tell me, why is this pledge to the ASPCA so important to you?
Well, growing up with a love for animals, and now my husband and I have 2 dogs and 2 cats that we've adopted over the last couple of years. They're very near and dear to my heart. They're part of my family, as I'm sure they are for a lot of people out there watching. And I feel lucky to be in the position to be able to afford medical care and treatment should they need it. And I know that's not the case with everyone, especially in this day and age. It's not always the most accessible or affordable option. So I have partnered up with the ASPCA and PetArmor, which is a fantastic new flea and tick treatment out on shelves now that is more accessible and affordable. You can get it at retail stores instead of having to go and pick it up at your veterinary office. And I partnered up with them basically just with this national campaign to raise awareness of protecting our pets, keeping them healthy and happy, and especially with it being spring and summer on its way, it's the most prevalent time of year for fleas and ticks. And I'm urging people to log on to facebook.com/PetArmor and take the PetArmor Protection Pledge. So for every person that signs the pledge on Facebook, that's going to trigger a $1 donation to the ASPCA. It's a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned all around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, I've always wanted to be a dog mommy. I think that's the most rewarding thing on the planet.
It is. It's unconditional love, we have Joni and Jackson, our 2 dogs, and Vincent and Theo, our cats, who, I like cats because you really got to earn their love a little bit more. Dogs are always there to greet you at the door, but equally, I'm such a fan of being an animal mom, and I'll do whatever it takes to spread the word about this particular cause, and obviously all the great work that the ASPCA does. I'm a huge champion of.
Yeah, how did you come up with the names for your animals? I always find those great stories.
I'm a big fan of naming animals with people names. I don't know, because, they are part of your family, so that's sort of where that evolved from. But Milo and Otis were our first, our 2 cats, because that movie was popular when we got them. So I guess I've always sort of followed that idea. People
and now,
names.
Speaking of movies, you have this movie in theaters now, Love, Wedding, and Marriage?
I believe that's coming out in the next couple of months, and had Tangled, which just came out on DVD, the Disney animated film. So it's fun to be able to juggle a little bit of the film stuff with music. I'm writing a record right now, and we'll start recording soon, so hopefully a new record will be out at some point this year. But it's really nice to have that balance of film and music on my plate, and then to be able to use the platform from both of those things to then, raise awareness to different causes and organizations like this that I feel need more attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And didn't you also recently join Drew Barrymore and President Bill Clinton to help students packaging?
Yes, a couple of weeks ago, I was able to attend Clinton Global Initiative University in San Diego. I work with a global health organization called Population Services International, and have done a lot of campaigning and work in Africa and Southern Sudan and Central African Republic for malaria and child survival programs. So I got to participate in that weekend and meet President Clinton a few weekends ago, and do an event at the San Diego Food Bank packaging up school lunches for kids. So that was definitely a highlight for me.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it was really cool.
What was the most rewarding aspect for that?
I think the whole weekend, it was really great to be around young people who are so brilliant. It made me really positive about the future. I mean, I think so often it's easy to sort of with the state of the world and all of the awful things that are happening at any given moment, it was really nice to come out feeling like, wow, we're in good hands. Like my generation, I definitely give props to. There's really some brilliant movers and shakers and thinkers out there doing great work and have great ideas, and I'm happy to sort of help support them in any way that I can.
It's interesting that you mentioned before that you wanted, you're reaching out to the ASPCA. Animals cannot speak for themselves.
No.
So this is probably such a rewarding thing for you to do as well.
It is. It is. It's nice to be a part of things that organically feel right to you and that you're passionate about. And it's nice to be able to, hip people to something that maybe they're not as aware of as I think they should be.
Now, are you also involved with organizations that adopt overseas, that sort of thing?
No, not at this time. I'm not, but who knows for the future. Right now, I'm just concentrating here on the home front.
Yeah. Where did you adopt your animals from?
I actually found our 2 cats are from a local shelter in Los Angeles, like a local cat rescue. And one of our dogs was from outside of Los Angeles from a rescue. And our other dog, Joni, I actually went and adopted down in San Diego. So they've sort of come from various places around California where we live.
And rescuing animals is very challenging, I would imagine.
It is. I mean, it is and it isn't. I'm a big advocate for rescuing and adopting because there's so many animals out there that need homes and just beautiful, lovely, loyal guys and gals out there that need loving homes instead of people going out and buying pets. I think you get sort of the best, mutts are the best anyway. I think you get sort of the best combination of things, an animal that's so appreciative and grateful to come into a loving household. And, I think they're all the better for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know, are you in New York right now?
I'm in New York right now, yes.
So are you going to attend Elton John's premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival?
I wasn't invited, but perhaps I'll find a way to have to attend this evening. But
you
work.
Must go.
I have work on my plate right now, so if there's time for it, absolutely.
Weren't you in his music video, Original Sin?
I was way back in the day.
Oh.
Yeah, a few years ago. I'm such a fan of his, so that would be fun.
What do you remember from that?
I actually got to work with both Elton and Elizabeth Taylor. They were both in the music video. It was a crazy, once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I grew up listening to his music, and my parents actually got to be extras, background in the music video as well, and they grew up, listening to Elton as well. So it was definitely a moment in time, for sure.
That's hysterical. So what was your parents' big debut?
We all got to dress up like we were concert goers at an Elton John concert in the 70s. So they got to wear some pretty funky duds. It was cool.
And did you work with Elizabeth Taylor that day?
I didn't. I met her, but her part of the video and mine didn't necessarily intersect. But it was still neat to be a part of a project with 2 legends.
Oh, my goodness,
yeah.
Absolutely. And what will it take for you to finally do your Broadway musical?
It would take the right project. I'm such a big theater geek and grew up loving musical theater that it's the ultimate dream of mine, but it would have to be like the right time, the right project, because it's a challenge. It's not something to sort of approach lightly. So hopefully that's something that's in the cards for me at some point down the road.
Well, Mandy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Lots of luck with this pledge drive for the ASPCA.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.